Alright, so it's time to create our very first AdSense ad unit. In this video, we'll focus more on the display ads. We will discuss the rest of the ad formats in a separate tutorial. On your AdSense account, go to Ads, and then Ad Units, then select Display Ads. Give your ad unit a name. Normally, we put your domain name, the size, and the placement. But this really depends on your choice. It's arbitrary. You can nominate any name you want depending on the layout of your site. In this section, you can see the preview of the ad. You can select square, horizontal ads, or vertical ads. By default, the ad size will be responsive. That means it can serve in any device, in any ad container. It will adapt to that size at any time. Now, if you don't want responsive ad, you can go ahead and select fixed. And then you can nominate or specify the width and the height, and this is in pixels. Here are the things you need to remember in terms of sizes. Only one dimension can be more than 450 pixels. The minimum width is 120 pixels. The minimum height is 50 pixels. And lastly, neither width nor height can be more than 1200 pixels. Now, if this is going to be a 300 by 250 ad, go ahead and specify it here. And if you notice, the preview will also adapt to whatever size you have here. Go ahead and click on Create. AMP is for accelerated mobile pages. And HTML is what we commonly use for regular sites. If you notice, there's also an option here that was deprecated by Google. That was the option to choose either sync or async. Tags are now asynchronous by default. AdSense no longer support synchronous tags. Now you need to copy this code, and you will have to insert this between the opening body and the closing body section or code of your site. Now what does that mean? For example, this is your site. Right-click and view page source. If you search for the opening body tag, you will see that in there. Okay, and if we search for the closing body tag, you're going to see that in there. All right, so the AdSense code needs to go anywhere in between those two. Let me show you an example using an ad inserter plugin if you are using WordPress. If you don't have ad inserter installed yet in your WordPress site, go ahead and search for it here and click on install. And once you have it, you go to plugins, installed plugins, and you can see here the settings button or link. You go ahead and click on that. Now these blocks right here will go directly in the body section of your site. So you don't have to worry, is this the header section? Is this the body section? This is going to your body section. So you're gonna have to specify your insert here, the AdSense tag that you just generated. So let me go ahead and do that. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see some customization on where you want this ad to display. Let's say I want this on the home page. I want this on category page. You can go ahead and do that. And here you can specify where do you want this inserted. Let's say I want it before first paragraph or before the second paragraph. You have those options. You can also specify devices and all other settings. Enable your ad on posts and static pages as applicable. You can rename this ad unit as well, or this block, in order for you to easily optimize and organize your ad stack. So for example, this is going to be named as AdSense 300 by 250 sidebar. Hit enter, then just save all settings. Now you can create more ad units or deploy more ads on your website. Just click on these tabs right here, deploy the code, and then specify where you want the ad to display, and then save all settings. Now it can take a few minutes to 1 hour for the ads to show up. And make sure you don't modify the AdSense code. You have to paste the code exactly as what you have generated from the AdSense user interface. So common issues sometimes, and you wonder why the ads are not showing up, is because sometimes this ins tags are missing, or the opening and the closing script are missing, or the code displays in single line or one line instead of something like this. And sometimes there are extra HTML codes inside it. So again, make sure it's the exact code you generated from AdSense UI. Just in case you messed up the code and you need to restart, feel free to generate that again from the AdSense user interface, remove this, and replace it with a completely newly generated code. Here's a sample display ad so we can see everything in action. So we generated this tag from AdSense, and obviously I just modified this and this. After, of course, I saved it for privacy purposes. But yeah, so we pasted the code here exactly and set all those customization where we want the ad to show up, enabled posts and static pages as well. And I specified that it will be inserted before the first paragraph. And then, of course, I save that. So let me show you that in action on the site. So I disabled that ad on the home page. So I'll go ahead and open one of the content pages we have. So this is the post. And if you notice, there's the ad serving right there. And it's right before the very first paragraph.